because the CFO tends to have a pretty good view of all aspects of the organization, and you're looked upon as being a business partner by all of the other members of the management team, I think a critical aspect is getting involved with all areas. It's very easy to bury yourself in the reporting and the tax and the financial nature of the role, but I think it's really critical to stay involved in all aspects of the company.
One of the things I've always been able to do is to look ahead. Prior to even the start date, I started connecting with the executive leadership team, keeping up to breast with what are some of the things that's happening from a COVID perspective, what are some of the challenges they were having, and then being able to bring that perspective as I joined on the first day. I think critical though was about building trust. What I find is that as you join a new organization, and particularly in this instance, you have to be able to build trust with the team to ensure that you walk the talk. So as individuals see you, you have to show them that you're willing to do what you say, and then also to not being afraid to be vulnerable at times, because that will show them that, you're human.
If you can put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand either where they're having challenges or how they will best react if you give them a situation, giving people the tools to be able to be successful, I think you will go a long way. Having that empathy and being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes is not only a good life skill to have, but it also really helps when it comes to business.
A CFO needs to be very quick on their feet. You need to react. You need to be adaptable, and I think you need to look ahead. If you are not planning as quickly and being as forward-looking as the operations team, you're going to be constantly playing catch-up. And with that, I think the leadership qualities, you need to be reliable, you need to be professional, of course. You need to be sensitive to your team and understand in these high-growth businesses that being an accountant or a finance professional on a finance team in a high-growth company is not the easiest place to be. It's a constantly changing environment where not many things are predictable, and that can clash with typical financial processes.
Get their perspective and where they're coming from, so I can kind of build that trust and know and give them that the ability to take that risk.
I think that from a leadership perspective, it is about being proactive and putting in processes in place so that we can minimize all of the fires that come up, minimize all of the uncertainties that exist, and manage risk.
Even in my two counterparts around the table, that they have the best things in view for the company in mind, the best things for the people, and the best things for some of our stakeholders. So when we believe in each other, at least that is probably about 50% of the battle. And then we kind of make sure, are we still aligned on the goal? Kind of air out all the dissenting opinions, and at the end of the day, make the best decision for the company as a whole, not necessarily decisions for individual people.
There was a lot of learnings that I had around the M&A. I don't think that a lot of people really quite understood what the M&A, the purchase and sale was going to do, how it could. There's a lot of learnings I had about myself, about people, and really understanding when somebody says one thing, there might be something deeper, and waiting and listening a little bit longer is what I needed to do through a lot of that.
So it really was just then redefining what it meant to be a leader and understanding that, one, it's about supporting the people, making sure that the obstacles that they have are removed, making sure that you're supporting them, and also being able to, because you've got a bit of a higher level view, being able to tie together their work with what your understanding is going on throughout the company. And then also just having some faith that although you don't have deep experience, you do have a good mind about you and the ability really to add value in your suggestions. And for me, it still comes down to data and analytics.
I actually think it's not really leading. I think it's working with people. And that probably sounds super cliche, like I took it out of a magazine, but I didn't. I thought a lot about this because I find the best leaders you don't really know are actually the leaders. They're the people who are working with everybody else. They have the mind to the bigger picture about what's going on, but they're not sitting in an office over here while everyone else is at cubicles. They're actively involved on the groundwork day to day with everybody. They pitch in when they need to. They go to the higher up stuff when they need to, but that doesn't make them different. It makes you just the leader. And I think people naturally gravitate towards people who take that attitude, who don't make them feel lesser, who make them feel like part of something instead.